Jim Nance, Phil Simpson, Tracy Wolfson here in Denver, and today's game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. Gorgeous day here in Denver. Just a couple of days ago, it was snowing in the area. Now it's 85 and sunny, and Kansas City is going to kick the football after winning the toss and deferring. So Santos. Ball bounces around, and Caldwell will take a knee. Peyton Manning taking the field. After the win last Sunday night against Indianapolis, when he threw for 3 touchdowns, no picks. Coming off his 5th MVP season. He's got an offensive line that's very solid and healthy, with Ryan Clady back after missing virtually all of last season. He got injured in week 2 last year at the Giants. Julius Thomas with 3 touchdowns Sunday night against the Colts. Interesting choice here for Andy Reid's side on the road, saying we'll go ahead and put it in the hands of Manning to start this game. We'll kick it. We'll defer.
Yeah, I think that's the only choice. On the road, let him have it first. Your offense struggled last week. Why start the game on offense and have the crowd disrupt what you want to do?
Fake into the line with Monte Ball, and going long, and he's there for the connection with Emmanuel Sanders beating Cooper down the field for 48.
Pretty simple play. They occupy the middle of the field, and they give Sanders a one-on-one against Cooper, and Peyton Manning has the whole field to throw the football to. Right away, you're putting the pressure on Cooper to cover Sanders down the sidelines, deep across the middle. That was the perfect play call for that defense.
Peyton picked on Cooper in the last matchup at Arrowhead last December when he threw for 5 touchdowns in that game. And there's Monte Ball wiggling for a gain of 7. This Kansas City defense is beat up after the first week. They lost 2 starters for the season. Allen Bailey had a sack, though, last week in the loss to Tennessee. And James Michael Johnson takes over that critical position, setting everybody up for Derek Johnson. He's one of the 2 to veto the other loss for the year. And Eric Berry, a fine presence back in that secondary. The safety out of Tennessee. 2nd and 3, and back over again to Sanders, and his second catch this time will yield another first down.
Well, the Kansas City defense, it is beat up. Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator, said, listen, this league has no mercy. So you got to come out and try to get it done. There he is, and it is a tough assignment to lose players against this offense. And the first thing he said to me was, got to tell my defensive backs, play conservative, don't get beat deep. They got beat deep on the very first play.
And now the Broncos, not even 2 minutes into the game, into the red zone, where they have scored on 38 consecutive red zone drives. Ball, though, is stuffed at the line by Jay Howard for no gain.
Really a tough task for this defensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs. They got size. Don Terry Poe in the middle is one of the best. But the problem is they have to play a lot of plays against a hurry-up, fast offense. Depth is definitely a problem for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I know Manning would like to get Demaryius Thomas going after he had one of his poorest games in the opener against the Colts. 3 drops. He's at the top of the screen. 2nd down and 10. And Manning, middle of the field. He's got his target. It's Julius Thomas. And he's down to the 4. He is a matchup nightmare, and already they've got it down to the 4 with Julius Thomas.
Well, you see the defense that time. Cooper has him, but he's so far off. No help from the linebackers. You look at these linebackers. James Michael Johnson, they thought he'd be a substituted guy. And Josh Malgoff, not one of the original starters. They're worried about stopping the run.
We'll call it from the 5, 1st and goal.
Come on, Louis.
Julius Thomas, top of the screen, Eric Berry on him. And it's the handoff to Ball, and he's pushed back with 4 Chiefs around him, including Jay Howard tackling for a 2nd time. Andy Reid had that brilliant turnaround his first season. 9-win improvement off the team he inherited. They went 11-5 and made the postseason. Lost the big lead in the wild card game, the 28-point lead, eliminated by the Colts. But a big turnaround It was for Andy Reid coming over from Philadelphia. 2nd and goal from the 4. And Manning's end zone bound. And the ball is caught for a touchdown. What a grab. And again, it's Julius Thomas. After 3 touches a week ago, he's got a quick one here against Kansas City.
That was too easy for this Denver offense. When you get near the goal line, there's so many things you have to expect from this Denver offense. And Julius Thomas, we saw it last week. Eric Berry, possession, 2nd foot, take it to the ground, kept control. It's a touchdown.
Great job once he got control to make sure that right foot right here is in.
When the split was tight like it was, you had to expect the outside route. Eric Berry just not big enough to stop that pass.
Extra point by McManus is good. They drive 80 yards in 3 minutes, 41 seconds. A 48-yard play at the very start, and then Julius Thomas reels in another Manning pass for a touchdown. Peyton Manning is moving in on 500 all-time touchdown passes. Just 5 away now, and he's 13 away from tying Brett Favre for the most in the history of the league. Six touchdown game today, and he would be at 5-0-0 as McManus earns the touchback.
Well, the opening play of the game, Jim, you're going to see Peyton Manning, Marcus Cooper, Sanders. You see the occupying safety by the tight end Julius Thomas, and you have the whole field to work with. Good design, perfect time to play that, to call that play.
And here's the touchdown catch by Thomas. Running right into John Pavlovich. Pavlovich, our great cameraman down there. Little collision. John's fine. So here we go. First snap for the Chiefs. They fake to Charles, and rolling out is Smith with a blocker in front. Fasano able to shield off Von Miller, and they're going to spot him right at the first down. So the 2 games last year against Denver, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. They lost by 10 here and by 7 at home. And when they came here, they were 9-0 last November. Their line, now this is something to watch today. Ryan Harris to right tackle as Jeff Allen had to be IR'd this week with a bicep. And it's a whole rebuild offensive line, losing 2 star players to free agency in the offseason. First down. And Alex Smith's pass, it was a good one, but out of the hands of Travis Kelce. Jack Del Rio's defense in Denver, the emphasis here this year, the main priority, speed. They had to get more speed. They certainly learned that after the shellacking in the Super Bowl at the hands of Seattle. They bring over Ware from Dallas. Nate Irving stepping up. What a leader he's becoming on this defense. And then Raheem Moore, injured much of last year. 2 picks last week of Andrew Luck. 2nd and 10, and here's Charles stumbling right on the handoff, and he's got about 3. Charles barely touched the football last week, Phil. He had only 11 touches, and Andy Reid saying after the game, well, that one's on me. It was negligent on my part.
Yeah, they got a little, didn't stay careful. They got too antsy wanting to go for big plays. When you have Jamal Charles, you have to give him his touches. That's why they ran the bootleg on the first play of the game. Everybody knows the Chiefs are going to try to get the football to number 25 today.
He had 7 rushes, 4 catches. He slipped right on the handoff. You can see this field's pretty beat up. 3rd down and 8. And we got a flag on the snap. And they get it to Charles. And he's hit hard by Ward and Carter near the first down.
This will be an interesting call.
Gene Steratore, our referee.
Offside. Defense. Number 58. That penalty is declined. The result of the play. First down.
And I was going to say it's an interesting call because that was very close. But I guess the official marker, they could see it was a first down. Andy Reid said you said it, lost his patience, really took the blame for the offense last week. Alex Smith says it's amazing how personal he takes it, where he doesn't help the players. He said, I'll get Alex Smith in rhythm today.
And here's Charles. He cuts back, and he is thrown down around the neck area by T.J. Ward, the former Cleveland Brown. You can follow all your favorite sports. Download the CBS Sports app right now and get scores, alerts, and more all on your phone. And hobbling to the sideline is Charles. He had a foot issue. He injured a foot in the second preseason game, set out the rest of the preseason. We asked Coach Reid last night. He said, no, he's 100%. We were wondering if that's why he had so little action last week. He's got one player on his own side kind of rolling over him. And then thrown down with aggression. 2nd and 8. They go up the middle, and it's wide open for Knile Davis. Knile Davis takes it to the Denver 33, and Eric Fisher, the #1 overall pick a year ago, helped spring him for 25 yards.
It's good deception. Brandon Marshall chases the reverse and opens up the big lane inside. You got to do your job when you start chasing the football sometimes. The wrong guy had it. So
I got to tell you, Eric Fisher put about 3 people, just shoved them to the side. That was an incredible block by Fisher. And he gives the Chiefs a first down. Davis does at the 33. And Davis now comes off the pile, breaks the ankle tackle by Miller, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. And we've got an update. We're going to take you to the studio in New York and James Brown.
Jim, you knew that J.J. Watts will be a factor in this game.
Yeah, Phil, not a sack, not a bad pass, but a corner route. That's a 1-yard touchdown pass to J.J. Watt from Ryan Fitzpatrick. 7-0 Houston.
What can't he do? Jim Nance, Phil Simms, and Tracy Wolfson.
My gosh, is J.J. Watt earning that big contract he got just about 10 days ago. Couple of sacks last week, touchdown catch today. 2nd and 10 for the Chiefs. And they're going back to Davis for a 3rd straight time. They got a flag. It's going to go against Kansas City as he tiptoes out at the 18. It's going to be a holding call, I believe, on Ryan Harris, who had, again, been a former Bronco, 4 years here. Got the start today with Allen injured at right tackle.
Holding. Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
Wipes out a 15-yard gain.
anytime you see runs to the outside, number 68, definitely a hold on Von Miller. Because Von Miller moved outside, you got to change the assignments for the tackle and tight end. They didn't do it. Almost impossible. And when you see running backs get outside, that's when you get a lot of holding calls by the offensive line.
So they're working on the left foot of Jamal Charles. Penalty backs him up to the 43 and a 2nd and 20. Davis. And again, it's Ward coming up from his strong safety spot to hold him to 1.
This is what T.J. Ward, one of the reasons he's brought in here. Yeah, it's a little speed, but it's more about attacking the line of scrimmage and making plays like this. Last week against the Colts, he had some chances to make tackles and didn't get it done. That was a really good start for him in this game today. The nervousness of being on a new team, that's now gone, and he's had a few good tackles already.
His father played at San Diego State, was coached by John Fox. His father, Terrell, at San Diego State some 30 years ago. Here's a 3rd down, and Smith is in trouble and is able to get the pass away. Was he across the line of scrimmage?
Yes.
Way across the line of scrimmage. This is coming back. As he connected with Junior Hemingway, but I believe he was 2 or 3 steps past the line.
If he kept running, they were going to pick up enough yards to get a field goal try.
Did a great job escaping a sack, and you're right, he was going to pick up a pretty good gain if he stayed on his feet.
Well, you know, as a quarterback, when you see him wide open, you can't help it. You got to throw it.
Illegal forward pass. Offense, number 11, was 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. It's a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the pass. Loss of down. It will bring up 4th down.
The blue line is where he's got to run to. Once he crosses it, it's the line of scrimmage. that if any part of his body is behind that when the football's out of his hands, it's okay. But you were right. He was a good 3 yards past the line of scrimmage.
And I saw a couple of Broncos closing in on him. Might have been able to get to about the 35, and in this altitude, could have been a long field goal try that would have been a very reasonable chance. There's Colquitt. This being Dustin Colquitt, his brother on the other side of this game. Beautiful kick, and is it going to be covered up? Chiefs are down there, and yeah, they're going to set the Broncos up at about the 3. Beautiful punt by Dustin Colquitt. 40 yards. But Peyton's already got a touchdown pass on the board. Extends his personal record to 41 straight games with a touchdown throw. Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife. Second series for the Broncos. Drove it 80 yards for a touchdown in a hurry. On the other occasion. Sanders to the right. Demaryius Thomas shifting on the snap as they go with Ball for about a yard. Ball coming off his first career start. Noshawn Moreno was the starter here last year. Posted fabulous numbers, over 1,000 yards, 60 catches, over 10 touchdowns, but he left off to free agent for Miami. Was injured in the game against Buffalo today, was Moreno.
Well, Monte Ball, first round draft pick. They like him a lot. Good at picking up blitzes and a tough runner.
There's the pass up to the 10-yard line, and that's Julius Thomas for a gain of about 8. Let's go to Tracy on the sideline.
Well, guys, they are taking Jamal Charles into the locker room right now. It is a left foot injury. He was pointing to the Achilles part of his heel. They did extensive look on him. They flipped him over on the bench. They had him upright. They were massaging it. He continued to point to it. They were having a lot of conversation. It did not look good. They are taking him into the locker room right now for further evaluation. And as soon as I get a report, of course, I will pass it along, guys.
Thanks, Tracy. Not believing the way this season is starting for Kansas City and this rash of injuries. 3rd and 3. Peyton lobs it, and it's dangerously thrown in the area of Julius Thomas. That was Maga who had pressure on Peyton, and that's his first incompletion, and that'll bring out the Colquitt of the Broncos, that being Britton Colquitt, the younger brother.
Good job by the Chiefs defense. Aggressive. That's a play everybody runs inside their 10. Fake it, play action, fullback in the flat. They were ready for it. They get this Denver offense off the field.
Frankie Hammond Jr. is the returner. DeAnthony Thomas, who handled that role last week against Tennessee, inactive with a hamstring. Hammond to the sideline, and he's out of bounds at about the 40. Good starting point coming up for Alex Smith. Second time the Chiefs will have it. They're down 7-7. A week from tomorrow night, The Big Bang Theory on a Monday night. Don't miss Emmy winner Jim Parsons. The new season begins on the 22nd. Only CBS. So the Chiefs from the 40. And Fasano is tied in. Has it near a first at midfield. You know, you look at Alex Smith. He's got a new contract, Phil. What do you think about when you see Smith? Look at all the things that he's done here. 30-10-1 since 2011.
Yeah, you got to remember those 2 good years he had with the San Francisco 49ers, or a year and a half with Jim Harbaugh, and a terrific year last year. But I think he is in a system right now with Andy Reid, the West Coast offense, a short passing game, rhythm, some boots, or play actions. It's the best one for him, and he took advantage of it last year.
He got a first down with the pass to Fasano, and he's got another completion. This one is to his other tight end, Travis Kelce, for 17.
Oh, they like Travis Kelce. I know Alex Smith does. He trusts him in the slot to your left, a little fake outside, and what that little move did, it kept the space between the corner and linebackers, and what a catch. As Alex Smith said, I said, what do you like so much about Kelce? Got a little wiggle. And what he means by that, if you cover him man-to-man, he can shake loose, get open, and make the catch.
He was injured last year his rookie year after being drafted in the 3rd round out of Cincinnati. First down in Denver territory. They fake the reverse, and they come back to the left side with Davis. What a piece of tackling that is by Raheem Moore, holding him to a yard. And we're going to go right back to James Brown in New York.
Tony Gonzalez says some ex-basketball players make good tight ends, Coach.
Yeah, we've seen it before. Phillip Rivers to Antonio Gates, 8 yards out. Back up on top, 10-7, San Diego.
Jim, Phil, and Tracy.
All right, JB, of course, Seattle next week will be hosting the Broncos in our national doubleheader game, the Super Bowl rematch. 2nd down and 9. And on the slant, that's the pass to Dwayne Bowe, who is back in action after serving a 1-game suspension in the opener last week, knocked away by Harris.
Chris Harris came back a little quicker from injury from last year than people thought. He was terrific last week. And now with this corner tandem, Aqib Talib, Chris Harris, they got backups. Bradley Roby, a 1st-round pick. No easy throws against this Denver defense.
That is Lorante McRae, a backup linebacker who is down on the field. And we're coming back here for a 3rd down snap. McRae helped to the bench.
On the pass rush, Ryan Harris goes low that time, and here's why. It was a quick pass, so you have to go to the below the waist against these rushers to get their hands down. If he didn't do that, that football was going to be tipped up in the air. Tough break that time from McRae.
So at the Denver 32 for the Chiefs. 3rd and 9 on the way.
I think the first thing when you're in a situation like this, the quarterback here in Denver, be careful. You got a field goal try. At worst, don't take a sack. But you got to have confidence. The offense looks much better already in this game than it did last week against the Tennessee Titans.
Never found the rhythm a week ago. That's Ware, who appeared to jump by Denver, and Smith with the free down goes all the way to the end zone. On the rebound, it was almost caught for a touchdown by Bowe.
Great job by Alex Smith. He was going to throw it short, knew he had a free play, and went down the field trying to get an easy score.
It bounced out of the hands of Aqib Talib.
Defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
Malik Jackson was all over Smith on the throw.
Yeah, Malik Jackson, 97, was all over the quarterback last week and Andrew Luck. And this guy has just got to be one of, they got to have pride of this Denver defensive staff, what they've done with Malik Jackson. Plays outside, plays inside. You know, wasn't a high draft pick and makes plays every single week.
With the 5-yard penalty, 3rd and 4. Smith in trouble, over the top he goes, and it's incomplete. Going for Junior Hemingway, and they'll bring out the field goal unit.
Chris Harris, excellent job that time by him. He knows he has safe help in the middle. Watch 25, stays on the outside, stays there, and there's nowhere to throw it. Eric Fisher, I'll tell you what an improvement from one year to the next. He was good last week, going from right tackle to left tackle. Andy Reid, little smile crossed his face when we said, how's Eric Fisher doing? So, first pick of the draft, you like to see him do well.
45-yard try, Cairo Santos, who last week hit the right upright, bounced through, left upright, and missed. This one is drilled for 3. Cairo Santos, who replaced Ryan Suckup, now with the Titans, gets the job. 7-3. We will see you Thursday night down in Atlanta. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will take on the Atlanta Falcons, an NFC South matchup, and we look forward to bringing it to you. CBS and the NFL Network. Bucs, Falcons, Thursday. So, Peyton, in that portrait, the 5-time MVP, most of all time, second most all-time wins. And how about that last thing? One of 2 quarterbacks to defeat all 32 current NFL teams.
Well, if I had to guess who that other guy was, I would guess Brett Favre. I think that's a pretty good guess.
It was.
Yes.
Of course, the 32nd team came into the league in 2002, the Texans, so that takes out the great quarterbacks of yesteryear, but still quite an accomplishment As a matter of fact, when you talk about beating all 32 teams, only 6 coaches have done that. Belichick, Dungy, and look at this, Fox, Parcells, Andy Reid, Shanahan. So we got both coaches have beaten every franchise in the league. And these 2 coaches actually squared off with high stakes 10 years ago in the NFC Championship game. John Fox's Carolina Panthers defeating Andy Reid's Philadelphia Eagles to advance on to the Super Bowl down in Houston, which came down to the wire in a Patriot victory. First down, fake to ball, over to Thomas, Demaryius Thomas, and he's running with a flag on the field, taken off, and a full sprint, and he finds, no, they're going to say he's out of bounds at the 25. Thomas took it to the house and down the ramp. Now we got him out of bounds at the 25 and a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he sees the flag now.
Downfield, defense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Well, they say they're going to be tougher with this rule this year. Offensive lineman downfield on screens. That's Chris Clark, the right tackle. And as he comes out on this screen, of course, when you play Denver, the screens are they're terrific. As he gets out there, it's not a blitz. So you think, oh, they'll be able to stop this. And he's down the field, absolutely. You're allowed to be 1 yard down the field. And as the ball is released from the quarterback's hand, hey, doesn't matter where you go from then. If you're fast, you can be 5 yards down the field if he throws it out there soft. But that was a good call.
Still pretty interesting how Thomas got that extra gear to breeze past Hussein Abdullah, though he did step out.
He's got it all. Hand, size, speed.
Meanwhile, back to the 15, and ball is smothered. He is thrown down by a former teammate, Kevin Vickerson. Just signed this last week.
Yeah, you know he's motivated to play. 94 comes across the formation. That run looks like it was supposed to go outside. So look at the blocking. They're trying to seal everybody in. There was a mistake. And Vickerson takes advantage of it. Cuts inside, makes a play.
A loss of 2. Vickerson, a 4-year starter at Denver, and a late cut at the end of preseason here. 2nd and 17. Set up screen. They've got ball. And wiggles past one defender, gets it out to the 21. Monte Ball with a gain of 8. Big Brother tonight. Julie Chen will host right after 60 minutes. The jurors pay a visit to the house and face the final 5 players. All new Big Brother tonight. CBS.
I think this Denver offense, they threw it well on the first drive, and I'm sure they thought, well, let's get physical and run it. But when they've tried to run the football, not much going up front.
3rd and 9. Oh, and the ball's dropped. And that was Andre Caldwell, who was hanging out right at the first down marker. At the yardage needed, that is. And the drop means the Broncos will punt for the second time.
He's in the slot against Chris Owens. Andre Caldwell, good job of hand fighting, knocks Owens out of the way. But when he turned his head around, I don't think he located the football quick enough. That's why he dropped it. Some big drops by this Denver receivers last week, too.
Britton Cole quit 53 yards with his first punt. And Hammond tried to twist away, but he's got nowhere to run. Steve Johnson in on the tackle, along with Kayvon Webster, 45-yard punt. We're talking about John Fox, Andy Reid, NFC title game. This was 11 seasons ago, played in January of 2004. 14-3 was your final. Fox, of course, going on last year and taking a second team to a Super Bowl, one from each conference. So final play coming up here of the opening quarter.
You know, there's another good coach here in the house today. That's Dan Reeves. They're going to honor him and put him in the Ring of Fame. I just don't know why the NFL doesn't honor him and put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Just because he didn't win a Super Bowl? How many teams did he take to the playoffs? How many teams went to the Super Bowl?
First down. Rolling out. Smith crosses by. Gets the completion for about 13 to Hemingway. After one in Denver, Broncos lead at 7-3. We'll return after these messages, and you're watching the NFL on CBS. We're going to start the second quarter here. Kansas City actually had 1 yard more of offense than the Broncos, who actually took the opening kick, drove 80 yards for a touchdown in a hurry, but then have been forced into back-to-back 3 and outs at the Broncos. So the Chiefs have it. First down, Niall Davis. Pushed out by Chris Harris Jr. This Chiefs offensive line, totally different look. Well, almost totally. Got still one guy in place from a year ago, the center, Rodney Hudson. He's a good one. But they lost Donald Stevenson to a 4-game suspension. Brendan Albert, free agent to Miami. John Asamoah to Atlanta. Jeff Allen to IR. So,
well, the center and left tackle, Hudson and Fisher, they are absolute keepers. And I'll tell you what, they might have found a keeper in Zach Fulton, number 73 at right guard.
Second and 9. Pass through the hands of Donnie Avery. You're talking about Eric Fisher. They don't get any of that attention that a quarterback does when the quarterback's taken first overall, like we have with both quarterbacks here today, Alex Smith and Peyton Manning. But just a year ago, this was the number 1 overall pick in the draft, Eric Fisher.
It was a tough year for him, too. He played right tackle. So I thought, man, moving to left tackle, this is some job they're putting on him. But actually, he's more suited for left tackle. He's bigger and stronger. I know it's only week 2, but it was a good start for him last week.
Well, he's had a couple of nice blocks in this one. And a flag is thrown from back in the secondary.
12 men on the field, defense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Well, when you count them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I can't get them on the screen, so. And that's 12. And why do they wait so long to throw the flag? Because if the snap of the football is imminent, that's when they throw it, and it was getting close to snapping the ball.
Still a third down coming up for the Chiefs. Third possession, third time they've made it over to the Denver side of the field. Still no catches so far for their starting wideouts, Bo and Avery. Bo lined up on the near side. And on 3rd and 4, Smith able to escape again. He's got the first down. Cuts back and buys some more yardage down to the 21.
Jim, you talked about the speed on this defense. You know, they did get some more speed on them. You talk about DeMarcus Ware and the people they brought in. And why did they do that? Well, they don't want the quarterbacks running around. And I said, are you worried about Alex Smith running this week? And the answer is basically no. Because they said if he runs, we can catch him. But here we are early in the second quarter, and he is taken off at will. Hey, what, he looks a little faster than he even did last year.
Yeah, well, last season he had 5 runs over 20 yards, second most by a quarterback in the league to Terrell Pryor. That one went for 25, first down. And working the middle was Cyrus Gray getting his first carry. Third-year man out of Texas A&M picks up 2.
I was going to say, yeah, run the football. Anytime your quarterback runs like Alex Smith did there on third down, be careful. You know, he's going to be out of breath. Just like a receiver runs deep down the field. Don't expect him to do it the second time. So run it, let him regain his composure, and now you're going to throw it. Especially in Denver here with this high altitude.
Yeah, not only sprinting 25 yards, but at altitude. 2nd and 8. Good time for Smith. Now they come in on him, and he unloads it. Pisano unable to hold on to it, but probably would have lost a yard or 2 had he made the catch. And we got a flag in the secondary.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, defense number 53. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Called on Steven Johnson. This was a point of emphasis during the preseason, and last week and what you've seen so far today, has it kind of stayed up at the same rate that we were seeing during the preseason?
Oh, no, not even close to the same rate, that's for sure. And it's like sometimes I see the contact. It's tough, Jim. You have to judge whether that contact, in my eyes, has any bearing on the outcome of the play. So when it does, that's when you throw the flag.
That's the third penalty on the Denver defense. And a new set of downs at the 15. A stretch play here for Davis. And he muscles his way for one. Well, we saw so many pass interference calls on the offense in the preseason. And everybody said, hey, when you get the starters out there, as much as you saw as flag throwing in the preseason, not going to be the same in the regular season, but these were the points of emphasis.
That's right. False start to really talking about quarterbacks in the shotgun, using their hands, bobbing their head up and down. And the legal hands to the face, that's as much for the offensive lineman as the defensive lineman. Anytime you hit the helmet, they're going to throw a flag.
2nd and 9, and handoff straight ahead inside the 10 is Niall Davis. And a gain of 5. Let's go back down to Tracy.
Well, guys, still no sign of Jamal Charles. The official word from the Chiefs is he is questionable with a left ankle injury. And on the other side of the ball, backup linebacker Laurenti McRae doubtful with the right knee injury, guys.
Okay, thank you. And Niall Davis, meanwhile, filling in, has 6 carries for 33 yards. The second year back out of Arkansas, who is lined up to Alex Smith's right.
You got to keep Alex Smith in the pocket here.
On 3rd and 4 from the 9, Smith has the first down with Niall Davis. The ball came out. Are they going to say, hold on a minute, that he would have to take that one to the ground because he caught it and ran for a step or two?
Catch and a fumble out of bounds that will result in a first down.
They give him the catch and a first down at about the 3.
Out in the flat, good throw by Alex Smith. He definitely had possession. Time elapsed.
Now they're having a summit, or 3 officials.
Fourth down, Kansas City. Would the game clock operator please set the game clock to 11 minutes and 17 seconds.
So wait, they ruled it in. I thought he said it was complete.
They did, and then they went back and did 3 officials, and they overturned their own call.
Well, full speed, of course, that's when you got to judge it. If it's a bang-bang play, then it's incomplete.
I'll tell you, if I'm Andy Reid, I throw that red flag out there. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to challenge it. He's going to say that was a catch and a fumble out of bounds like they officially ruled it on the field the first time.
Kansas City is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass. Timeout.
Chiefs are challenging the ruling on the field, which was an incompletion. Let's bring in Mike Carey in New York, our rules expert. What do you see, Mike?
I see this one being reversed. I see clear control by the runner. The receiver had the ball, 2 steps, 2 hands solidly on the ball, turned upfield, then the ball came loose. It was a fumble forward out of bounds. It would go back to the spot of the fumble, which would be the 4-yard line, which was very close to where it hit out of bounds anyway.
All right, thank you, Mike. Here's Gene Steratore. Let's see what he says.
After review, the ruling on the field is overturned. The receiver does complete the process of the catch, has possession, turns upfield, is hit, fumbles the ball, which does go out at the 3.5-yard line. It will be Kansas City's ball, 1st and goal at the 3.5-yard line. Kansas City will not be charged a timeout. Would the game clock operator please set the game clock to 11 minutes and 25 seconds. 11:25 on the game clock, please.
Mike, when you saw it, how long did it take for you to discern that that was definitely a catch?
Well, I had the luxury of a monitor right in my face, so it was an instant call for me. On the field, there's a lot to process, and so it's a pretty difficult call, but on the live feed, I could see it.
What made it interesting is they originally called it a catch, and then they overturned it
Somebody
themselves.
came in and reversed it, yes.
And, of course, instead of it being 4th down and bringing out a field goal attempt, a short one, they got a first down. Thank you, Mike Carey. 1st and goal to go at the 3, and they spread it out here with 3 wides. Still going to run it. And that middle of the field is clogged by the Bronco defense.
Well, they got some cloggers up front, no doubt about it. They played run all the way. Terrence Knighton, Malik Jackson, both inside. They played man-to-man. They had 7 guys in there, and they were expecting run and daring Kansas City to throw it.
Last year, Pisano, this tight end, was a preferred target down near the goal line. He's lined up on the right side on this occasion. 2nd and goal. Davis, he's in for the touchdown.
Good run, good play call. They had everything going to the offense's right. The formation, the motion. So the defense is, you start leaning that way, and the handoff goes left, and Davis sprints to the end zone.
They went Fisher's side, Phil.
Yep, and DeMarcus Ware got caught inside. Nobody had what you call the force to make the runner go back inside where the rest of your defensive players are. Really good play call by Andy Reid.
Extra point is good. 10 unanswered by the visitors. Denver trails for the first time this season. 10-7 Chiefs.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. State Farm. Pump up your savings with a discount double check today. And by Domino's. Visit Domino's.com.
Just a couple of miles out of the great city downtown area of Denver, which was alive and thriving yesterday down on 16th Street. Always a festive spot when the weather's gorgeous as it is this weekend. The last 10 first downs in this game have all been posted by the Kansas City side. And Caldwell looked like he thought about it, but he'll take the knee. You know, Andy Reid started 9-0. His Chiefs came in here, lost to Denver. They ended up now 11-5 last year. You take the next 9, they're 2-7, and look at those categories like points given up, Phil. 29 a game in these last 9.
Well, so many reasons for that. One, level of competition when they went 9-0. They took advantage of some teams that were in disarray. One of them, the Oakland Raiders. But the defense broke down, had some injuries. They play a style under Bob Sutton. It's aggressive. They take chances, and they got burned.
By the way, there was a 5-yard mark-off for offsides against the kicking team. So we'll step it out to the 25. Peyton fires, completes out to the 42. Nice grab by Demaryius Thomas. Right in front of Cooper for 16.
Yeah, Cooper is all over him. Outside technique. That's when you want to run inside routes. Good timing. The only thing about those throws, when you throw them head high, look how close that was to being batted up in the air.
First down, run, ball for 4.
Now this offense, you're Adam Gase, the offensive coordinator. It's always a balancing act. Running, you got such a great prolific passing offense, you got to make sure you try to run it too. But when you got Peyton Manning, all these good receivers, you want to throw it. But you got to keep your offensive line aggressive, and you do that by running the football.
Got a 2nd and 6. Open. That's Sanders.
I don't know if that's a huddle call or it's just an automatic, but it seems pretty uncanny every time the defender is off of Emmanuel Sanders. Peyton Manning throws that quick out. Saw it last week. We've already seen it twice here today.
Gain of 6, good for a first. Sanders, who very nearly signed with the Chiefs back in March. Matter of fact, they were pretty upset about it after he ended up going with Denver. They thought they were close to a deal. And Sanders, what a fit he's going to be this season for this Broncos offense. Already with 3 catches in this game. for 61 yards. On first down. Dumps it off to Ball. Wide open, middle of the field to the 33, and 16 more for the Broncos.
Well, it's double coverage on the outside. Watch the linebackers in the middle of your screen. They just take off. Why? They're following the eyes of the quarterback. He looks right, the linebackers run, and at the last second, he finds Ball over the middle.
To the Kansas City 33. Coming back to the left side, Demaryius Thomas for another first down. And 12 picked up on the play.
As you watch this to the outside, it's the blocking by the line, and everybody releases, and the wide receivers. I think that's the most impressive thing about this screen game of the Denver Broncos. These wide receivers, they just flush the defenders where they can't get off the blocks, and whoever catches it, which could be one of 6 different guys, they just get a free run right up the field.
I don't know what that was about. I know you saw it at home, and Thomas touching his knee as Ball is inside the 10 and down to the 4.
That's what you want to see. That time, the offensive line right in the middle. Ramirez, Orlando Franklin, they get good movement, a double team that time by Vasquez and Ramirez. That allows Ball to cut back. You know, too, when you watch them play, they got a couple runs. I like when they double team inside, the runner follows that, and then I like it too when Virgil Green, the second tight end, leads the runners around the opposite side.
That's Jacob Tamme in motion, first and goal, and Manning has the touchdown to Tamme. Enters for the first time, and his old Indianapolis teammate has the grab for the touchdown.
A lot to decipher anytime you see that bunch route, and that's just a mistake. I don't know who. Somebody has got to, you got to back off and see what the receivers are going to do and then try to sort it out. But Cooper was fighting at the line of scrimmage. Nobody went outside. Easy touchdown.
Well, Denver's first deficit of the season lasted for all of 3 minutes. They had 4 plays that went for over 10 yards. They go down that field in a hurry. It's Manning to Tamme and the touch. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Alabama's college football team, led by Nick Saban, the perfectionist. Watch the profile of Saban tonight on 60 Minutes, only CBS. On the 2 touchdown drives by the Broncos, Manning 9 of 9 combined, and a pair of touchdown tosses.
Such an array of plays that this Denver offense has. Look, you got to be worried about Demaryius Thomas going down the field. Julius Thomas, he can go everywhere at the tight end position. But what really would frustrate you and drive you crazy and I think destroys defenses is their screen game. It is like nothing I've ever seen in the NFL.
McManus, this one's on the ground at the 10. And the Chiefs think better of it. Hammond takes a knee, bring it out to the 20.
Movement on the goal line as he comes across. Watch how late it takes him. Oh, wait, there's a third guy over here. Somebody go. They get picked inside. That's Abdullah. There's nothing he can do. Not very good communication. And, you know, if I was a coach in the league, when Peyton Manning retires, I'd pay him a lot of money to come and help my offense and do nothing but just work on the screen game because he's the guy that teaches it all and brought it here to Denver. And, of course, Adam Gase, the offensive coordinator, and John Fox, they've helped it along, but the coaching of it is outstanding.
First down from the 20. As Davis follows his blockers and is all the way out for a gain of about 20, running behind Kelsey and Hudson.
Oh, Hudson, he's just looking for somebody to hit. This center, watch the center pull out. 61, he's leading the fullback. McGlynn gets a good block. Fasano does it on the seals to the inside. And I'll tell you, Rodney Hudson, Jim, we talked about it on the Thursday night game. Franchise centers and how important they are. This guy here in Kansas City is pretty good.
Yep, they took him back in 2011 in the second round out of Florida State.
Man, that was a clinic. Vince Lombardi sweep, a seal, and go through the hole.
First down, Smith throwing. Trying to hit Davis in stride. And he was covered by Brandon Marshall. By the way, 2 plays before that Bronco touchdown, Thomas on one of those screens. Remember, you saw him pointing to his knee on the sideline. And that's the play where he got nicked.
It looked like he slowed up even before he got hit.
2nd and 10. And that's a completion to Jenkins. Let's go for a report with more on the Thomas injury. Tracy. We'll get back to Tracy in a moment.
Well, Tracy's down there enjoying the sun too, so
hey, she
enjoy it now, because late in the year we know how the weather turns. Big third down for this Chiefs offense. Tight formation, you can run it or try to get a pick.
3rd and 2, and look at this. Smith puts his body out there, but they're going to mark it about a foot shy. He collided with Nate Irving. Be 4th and about a foot, it looks like.
If he cuts it back inside, they got it. Of course, he's not a running back. He can't get in. No, he couldn't have made it anyway. If you're Andy Reid, first off, that spot,
you're not sure about that one.
It wasn't great. I think it's short, but very, very close. I'd have to think about trying something here and going for it. I really would. Let's don't kid yourself. Your defense can hustle and do everything all day long, and it's a good job. As for a measurement, why? Because you get to keep looking at that play sheet. Look at Andy Reid. He is going down that list and figuring which one is going to be the easiest. But I think if he goes for it, that's the call. And he is going to punt it. You know, I'm a conservative guy too, Jim, in these decisions up here. But Peyton Manning, this offense, I think under pressure when they need to, they're going to be tough to stop. So you got to constantly in a game like this, as a head coach, tell yourself, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to be a little more aggressive than I usually am because of the circumstances that you face here in Mile High.
Dustin Colquitt.
And last, Jim, I'm sorry. The last thing is, who's been winning the line of scrimmage when the Chiefs are out there on offense? Their offensive line. That would give me some hope too.
His second punt. A lot of hang time. And Burse makes a fair catch at the 12. 41-yard punt.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the agile all-new Audi Q3. Stray the course. And by Kelley Blue Book. Find out what you should pay for your next new car at kbb.com.
Welcome back to Denver. We were talking about Demaryius Thomas and maybe hurting that left knee. I was watching him on the sidelines. It didn't seem to be bothering him. He was actually eating a sandwich on the bench. He didn't talk to any trainers at all, but he did look down at it a few times. I can tell you he did hurt the bottom of his left foot in pregame warm-ups. He needed it massaged out, so maybe that's what's bothering him. Back to you guys.
Yeah, and he's back on the field. Thanks, Tracy. And here's a dangerous pass in the direction of Thomas, broken up by Marcus Cooper.
Well, you talk about Demaryius Thomas. He had those drops last week. He usually doesn't drop it. And he texted Peyton Manning after the game and said, there he is checking that left foot. After the game said, sorry, I will, be better next week. So that tells you how self-conscious he is. Of course, Peyton Manning loves that in his receivers. I would too.
And again, that was before the game, what you saw there. 2nd and 10. C.J. Anderson gets his first carry. Tackled by Justin Houston. Only a yard. Anderson ran it 4 times against the Colts last week and looked good. They have Ronnie Hillman up too today. He was inactive for the opener.
Justin Houston, man, can the coaches of the Chiefs talk enough about him? Move him around today. He played great last week and off to a good start here today.
Chiefs defense trying to force the Broncos off the field. What a great catch that was. Julius Thomas for the first down.
Yeah, that time it's against Ron Parker, a safety slash cornerback. You just can't. It's unbelievable. Back shoulder throw to a tight end down the sideline. That's tough. Last week he let him down the field for a big catch. Today Parker was ready for it, so he throws it back shoulder.
First down run by Anderson. And here he goes for a quick 13. What a burst.
Well, what they did, I like what they do when you go 2 tight ends. They spread the field. You got to play it straight up on the defensive side. And that's what you look at the blocking again. The center. It's Ramirez and Vasquez, the right guard. They're double teams ever since they've been here playing. They are awesome. And you said it, Anderson runs like it's his last carry.
Well, he gets another carry here. And the young man who was undrafted coming out of Cal and signed by the Broncos. And boy, did he turn out to be quite a find for this team.
Well, that time Don Terry Poe got in there, number 92. He's taking a breather. He just went off the field, and he is a first-round draft pick by this Kansas City Chiefs team last year, and he has turned out to be a terrific inside defensive lineman.
3.5 to go. Quarter number 2. 2nd and 9.
Go, baby.
And Sanders able to get hold of that one. Short gainer, picks up 3.
This is something they love to do. Watch the pick on the outside. They're going to go inside. Here he comes. And you can make these blocks as long as you're no more than 1 yard down the field. And that time, really not a block, just stood there. Very well done.
Timeout called by the Chiefs defense. Broncos will have 3rd and 6. 3:08 to go in the first half when we come back. Coming up, the Verizon Halftime Report. JB and the gang will go through all the scores and the highlights and a special preview of our Thursday night game on CBS and NFL Network coming up on Verizon Halftime Report. And look at this, Eric Berry, their best member of the secondary, is heading to the locker room. Kurt Coleman in for him for this important play, 3rd and 6.
4 receivers right, 1 left. Single on Julius Thomas.
Wide open, first down. Thomas zigs and zags and has a gain of 22.
Here's what happens. Julius Thomas to the outside up top, and now you got this 3 receivers going up the field, and it makes it almost impossible. And it's great timing, comes underneath. Look at them. Just a group of players running into each other. That is legal. That's well designed, and haven't seen that one from the Denver Broncos until now.
3rd catch for Demarius, 49 yards. That pass too low for Sanders. Never had a catch. Not even close.
Well, let's see. Between, I'm going to say 3 pick plays. That's not the right word because I know it's illegal, but that and all the screens, this is the first time they haven't gotten good yards.
Well, I said it wasn't even close. Hold on a second.
That's a catch, and it's a fumble. And they could challenge this. No, they don't have to. It is outside of 2 minutes. Andy Reid should challenge this. He's thinking, you better hurry.
Why not?
There you go. That's good. Contact. There was no contact. He had possession. Contact caused the fumble, Jim. We had this last Sunday with the Jets game. Almost identical.
Boy, at first glance, I thought Sanders never had control, but it looked like he did.
Challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
He was not going to drop that football until the hit came. You know, I'm not sitting here rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs, but I know Andy Reid has somebody up top watching this, and when you get a play that could be this instrumental. Does he catch it? Arms are underneath, hands are under the ball. That's a catch. Time has elapsed. And Abdullah knocks it out. I think it's a fumble. Now we just got to make sure that you can see it's a clear recovery.
Tremendous angle right here by
hand. Look at
our
the
crew,
cupping
Mike
of the left
Arnold,
hand.
Lance Barrow.
Very good.
He just dropped it. It's not even like Abdullah came in and stripped it.
Oh, yeah, there's enough time as he makes that. Now, that's slow motion. If we show it in full speed, I still think the time is going to elapse. Where, here, let's just watch it, Jim, and see when it's full speed if it's... Yes. I think there's enough time elapsed there.
We're going to go back to New York and bring in Mike Carey. How do you see it, Mike?
Boy, this is one of as tight as you can get on this play. So the receiver had control. There's a question whether the ball hit the ground or not. And then was the contact, did it happen before or after the ball came loose? I think they're going to have to let this play stand as it was called.
Well, part one of that, Mike, did you think he had a catch? Did it ever touch the ground in his attempt to catch it off the turf?
It wasn't clear enough to see if the ball had touched the ground. My opinion is that there was a catch and that the contact by the defender came after the ball was loose, so you had a fumble and a recovery. But this play is going to stand when he comes back from announcing.
Well, you're saying it's going to stand because you don't see a clear view of it 100% where it's a catch. Is that what you're saying?
Whether it's not clear whether it's a catch, and it's not clear whether he was touched down by contact because the ball was coming loose right at the same time as the contact.
Right. Very good, Mike. I'm going to disagree. I think they're going to rule it a catch and a fumble.
Well, Steratore has seen enough, and he's about to...
Didn't see him writing on the pad, which usually is not good for
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It is an incomplete pass. It will be second down. Kansas City is charged with the second timeout of the half because that was Kansas City's second challenge. Although the first challenge was successful, the second being unsuccessful, Kansas City is out of challenges for the remainder of the game.
Well, it was a good challenge by Andy Reid. You have to take a chance like that against this offense or any team that's driving to score. And Mike Carey's batting 1,000 so far this year in all of his rulings and judgments.
Yeah, he is. We had him back in the preseason.
Yep.
Last week. Today.
I've missed one
Undefeated.
now.
Undefeated.
That's the first one I've missed. You've missed 3. So
okay, go ahead. Tell me one of them.
I can't remember offhand, but I know you've been wrong.
Kansas City out of challenges. 2nd and 10. And that will bring us to 2.5 to go. It was Anderson with the carry. And we're hearing from the Chiefs locker room, Phil, that Eric Berry, an ankle injury, questionable to return.
Wow. Maybe, well, your best player on defense, well, one of your best now, maybe out of the game, along with the other injuries.
3rd and 7.
Derek Johnson, Mike DeVito, your best run stopper. Eric Berry.
Yeah, it's going to be the 2-minute warning. Before anybody jumped her.
He got him.
This is...
I don't see how they can throw a flag. That was well after the clock had already hit the 2-minute warning. And I think that's what they're going to tell Gene Steratore right now. That's Gary Arthur telling him, the line judge, that's how he saw it. So
yeah. I know Andy Reid doesn't want to challenge this too.
Oh, he's out of challenges.
Oh, he's out. That's right. He's already used 2.
You're not undefeated anymore.
Well, no, that's just, that doesn't count.
One play.
That doesn't count. Play fair.
Prior to the 2-minute warning, we have a neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 91.
I'll tell you, the replay
in the neutral zone, causing the offense to
is not going to agree with that one.
Would the game clock operator please set the game clock to 2 minutes and 1 second?
So it's not the play clock. Look at the game clock.
It's not that it's close. It's not close. That's what
right.
I'm trying to say. My gosh. What took so long to...
Now they go reset the clock. Okay, there you go. They set it to 2:01 as if it had happened on the outside of the 2-minute mark. That's a gifted 5 yards. Broncos driving again. Coming up, the Verizon halftime report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cowher. All the scores and highlights. And a special preview of Tampa Bay, Atlanta. Our Thursday night game on CBS and NFL Network. 3rd and 2 after the 5-yard step off against Kansas City. And Anderson has the first down into the secondary. And then Parker able to finish it up on a 12-yard run.
Watch the right tackle. Nah, I missed him. He's so fast. Orlando Franklin just washed everybody down to the left. And then the cutback, big running lane. Good job by this Denver O-line. Now they've got the rhythm. Now they're physical. They're protecting Peyton Manning, and that's what you want this offense to do. You got to do both now, probably to win the Super Bowl. And I know the Broncos very cognizant of the fact they need to keep running the football.
Now Franklin, you saw him at left guard. He was the right tackle a year ago, but Chris Clark takes that position now. First down to the end zone, and it is caught by Demaryius Thomas. With a defender draped all over him.
Yeah, it's a beautiful throw. That's as good as it gets. The throw, the catch, the execution. Peyton puts it right in between. Not a lob pass, not real hard. Oh, how about that?
Just pins it to his shoulder pad.
Yeah, that's right. That's possession. You don't have to have your hands on it. You can have it pinned to your leg or between your legs. But he's big. He's the inside receiver. A lot of room. Tough spot for Kansas City.
That's an 88-yard drive that ends with number 88. Remember, they had a big 3rd and 8 conversion back at their own 14. They kept that drive going early. And that's the first touchdown pass of the season by Manning that goes to a player outside of a tight end. He'd gone 4 times for touchdowns to Julius Thomas, 1 to Tammy, and now he's got a wide out. Demaryius with his first score of the season.
Well, let's look at it, Jim. Here he is inside. Look at all this room. He just releases, then goes this way, and Peyton Manning, the safety, my gosh, I think you've got to cheat this way, even though it's not your job. But right away, the speed goes outside, turns. It's really an over-the-top throw. What a throw by Peyton Manning. Well, what a catch. I don't know what's better.
Well, I had little doubt Demaryius Thomas would make some plays after being stung by 3 drops last Sunday night, and he was, in the words of his coordinator, Adam Gase, just trying to go north-south before he caught the ball against the Colts. But he's in a groove right now, Phil. That's 4 catches and a touchdown. Manning, by the way, just 3 away from 500. I made that reference early in the game. He's had 3 games in his career of at least 6 touchdown passes, including a 5 touchdown game at Kansas City last December. So he's got some sort of streak going too when you talk about numbers posted by Manning in the month of September. Goes back over several years, 27 touchdowns and no picks.
I'd like for you to tell me which month he has to put up great numbers.
Well, it's every game he seems like he's setting a new mark, a new league record.
Well, the Chiefs got a little unlucky on that drive. The 5-yard penalty after the 2-minute warning. The challenge that went against them, but you can't fault. Great execution by Denver's offense.
They go screen to Davis, and he slips and is surrounded by 3 defenders, including Bradley Roby, and a loss of 3.
I tell you, I thought maybe Denver would call a timeout here and go ahead and put the pressure on the Chiefs defense. If you call a timeout, you could force them to throw it, get an incompletion, and then still have some time. Of course, that's being extremely aggressive. I'm sure John Fox likes the fact that he's up 21-10. When you use that strategy, it can backfire. I like the chances. The crowd noise, the defense is rested.
Smith from the pocket. Back to Davis. Steps out 2 yards shy of a first. You know, last week, just 6 plays apart. Derek Johnson, Mike DeVito both go out with Achilles injuries that end their season. Allen, offensive line starter, out for the season. And already today, Jamal Charles and Eric Berry leaving the game with ankle injuries. I will say this, though. Charles out. Davis has done quite a job. In fact, they've rushed for over 100 yards, this team, in the first half. 3rd and 3. And that's Hemingway. First down at the 35, but well, we got a timeout now called by Kansas City.
Good first down, good play call, stack the receivers, hard for the defense to do that, to defend it. It's a play everybody in the National Football League runs.
Niall Davis has 4 catches, and he's rushed it 9 times for 55 yards. That was Brandon Marshall stripping it, and that was the overturn. And he found the end zone. He had a touchdown against Denver last year. He had a kick return of 108 yards at Arrowhead. We were there to witness it. But 9 seconds to go.
3 receivers to the left. What you probably do, send a couple of them deep, and they're going to look for a deep outcut.
And they have no timeouts. He's in trouble, and he's tripped up and sacked. First of the game. And it's Vaughn Miller. First sack for Miller since blowing out his knee last December the 22nd.
That's exactly what they were trying to do. Crowd noise and good pass rushers took it away from them.
That's the end of the first half with Denver leading it 21-10. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
They try to be a little of a running team to go with all the passing they can do. It is incredible to watch.
Hammond back deep. Kansas City deferred, so they wanted the football here at the start of the 3rd quarter. And they're going to start it at the 20-yard line. Talk about the Chiefs, what they must do in the second half to get back into it.
Wow. I think you got to go on offense. You got to take chances. You got to, if you get in situations where you got to gamble, you got to gamble. And you always have to think when you play the Denver Broncos, you got to come in the game going, we got to score at least 30. Because if you hold Peyton Manning under 30, you've had a terrific day. And the Chiefs got to be a little more aggressive. Look for some plays to the wide receivers. They got to be part of this offense.
For the Chiefs in that first half, Smith was 10 of 15. They ran for 101 yards on the ground. And they go down with this snap for a gain of 2. And let's get the report from the locker rooms at halftime from Tracy.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Well, I had a chance to speak with John Fox, and he was pleased with the way they finished that second half, but his message to his team, the same message all week, finish strong, something they did not do last week against the Colts. Still no sign out here of Jamal Charles, out with that ankle injury, and Eric Berry out with that right ankle injury as well. And remember, he missed all of the preseason with a heel injury on that same right foot. Jim?
2nd and 8. And Smith's pass is batted down. Batted down by Terrence Knighton.
Quick passing game. You got to tell your defensive lineman at halftime, they're trying to get rid of the football quick. 98, right in the middle. What a push that time by Knighton. And, you know, they had a bad Super Bowl, the Denver Broncos did, Jim, and they lost by a big number. But I'm telling you, Terrence Knighton was nothing short of fantastic in the game. Tackling, pushing everybody around. He was terrific.
Still have not connected once in this game with the starting wideouts, Avery or Bow, and it's 3rd and 8. Smith fires it down the field and open. He's got Avery. There's that first catch. But there's a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Will the 39-yard play?
Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
73 is the right guard, Zach Fulton. Here he is. Let's see where the hands. Oh, yeah, he's got the hand high. That's it. But I'll give a defensive lineman. They know the drill. When they get blocked, they throw their hands up in the air and they start falling. Malik Jackson, I'm not saying he wasn't being held, but he embellished it and got that call. That was a good job. Alex Smith getting outside the pocket, looking down the field.
Yeah, he got 39 yards out of it at first glance, but it comes back and now means 3rd and 18. Pump fake a couple of times, plants the feet and goes down the field to the 31-yard line, and Kelsey has the second catch in this game and a first down.
That is some job, huh? How about Alex Smith knows the situation? First off, we got 3 down linemen, which I really do not like, against a veteran quarterback, and he doesn't panic. He waits, and as he waits, you see Kelt there. He goes across the field, and what a throw by Alex Smith.
Gains 20 on 3rd and 18.
The pump fake is what did it. When you pump fake as a quarterback, the defense freezes, and that allowed him to have more time and Kelsey get open.
Again, escaping some early pressure, over to Davis. And Davis stretches it out for another first down. Let's go back down to Tracy.
Well, thanks, Jim. I just got word Jamal Charles and Eric Berry both out for the rest of the game. A real blow for these Kansas City Chiefs, guys.
My goodness.
It is
incredible.
It just keeps coming, and it's like Bob Sutton said, it's and Andy Reid, everybody wants to know tomorrow, you win or you lose. And that's what happens. But how about Alex Smith? I wish we'd have had, what do you call it, odometer on him? This man is running around as much as any quarterback that I've seen this year in the NFL.
This one is taken back a yard by Knighton. That's Davis. Well, it all started last week, this injury list. Big ones last week. First, with no contact, it was Derek Johnson. What a competitor he is, out for the season. Achilles. 6 defensive snaps later, Mike DeVito, starting defensive lineman. Same thing, out for the year. That cart had to be refueled. It was in action so much last week at Arrowhead. Shuttling players off the field. Allen lost for the year. Now Charles and Berry out for the game. And here's Smith throwing it away. We don't know the extent of the Jamal Charles, Eric Berry injuries, how long we're talking about here, if anything, in fact, beyond this week. But you're talking about 5 of your 22 starters right now.
Well, it's not only the 5, it's how good
the big
5 are.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, Derek Johnson, just so active. The speed linebacker stopped so many big plays. Eric Berry, the same on the backside. A fast safety who stops a lot of big plays. It's a lot to overcome, of course.
Then you got Charles over here on this side of the ball. 3rd and 11. There's a pass on the mark, and Bo has his first catch of the season.
Well, it wasn't easy. Bradley Roby, rookie, there he is in the slot. Nice fake, goes across. Good throw and catch. And DeMarcus Ware, Eric Fisher on the outside, holds his ground. Another good job by him. Now, they've done a good job, the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid, getting rid of the football quick. So defensive linemen, it gets them tired, and they always think, well, it's going to be another quick pass. I don't have time to make a move and get back there.
From the 44. Short side of the field, and it's all Broncos over there. 4 players had that side manned, including Chris Harris Jr. Loss of 5. You know, you talked about Derek Johnson. You've known him a long time, since he was in college. Former first-round pick and out for the season. But the leadership that he brings, he would set the defense for him. And as Andy Reid told us last night, this is some special guy right here. He's a proud guy. And there was his response after the surgery.
Well, I saw him play at the University of Texas many times, and he continued to play the same way in the pros. He was great down there and great in the NFL.
Second down, Smith was threatening to go long, and he's able to at least pick up a couple yards out of it, avoid a sack.
Good decision. Looking for the play down the field. The play action, nobody open, and really stepped himself into trouble. They had good blocking up front. Going deep, nobody to throw to. That's Jenkins on the right side, same thing. Look at those, Aqib to lead. Watching the receiver with one eye, the quarterback with the other. Always be careful when throwing his way.
Well, they've converted a 3rd and 18 and a 3rd and 11 already on this drive. Now it's 3rd and 13. Here come the Broncos blitzing. Smith over the head in the direction of Bo. We've got a flag down in the backfield.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Unnecessary shove to the quarterback. 15 yards. The foul is on 97 defense. Automatic. First down.
Malik Jackson.
Well, that could be frustration. But this time he has to hold the ball. That's a good call. And Peyton Manning, he's going to shake his head, because not that it's a bad call. Why would you do it? Well, that's it. You say, oh, come on, that wasn't much. Well, okay, where do we draw the line? That's what I always tell everybody. Oh, until you knock him down, his helmet comes off. Is that when it's a foul? So when you give an unnecessary push like that to a quarterback who really has not protected himself because he thinks it's over, there's a lot of things that can happen.
All the flags on the Broncos today against the defensive unit.
See if they can take advantage of this. 21-10.
First down throw and perfect pass. A.J. Jenkins. Smith hit him right between the numbers for 11.
Yeah, I have to admit, Alex Smith, Andy Reid talked about it, wanted to get him in rhythm, make it easier on him. He has definitely done that. And he's comfortable. He feels the pressure. He's moving with ease. And that time, that throw just had great rhythm and right on target.
Kansas City's had the football now for the first 6 minutes plus of this half. And on first down, they run right side with Davis for 1. It's not too late to sign up and play NFL.com fantasy football. Get free mobile apps and exclusive instant highlights. Sign up in under 2 minutes, and you can play for free at NFL.com/fantasy.
That time it was good blocking up front, but the safety, T.J. Ward, man, has he come to play today? Sure tackling, very aggressive. Going to get more comfortable in his defense every week.
2nd and 9. Stutter step and draw to Gray. Cyrus Gray fighting for yardage and within a couple of a first.
Stiff arm, still works in the NFL. Saw it first with Jim Brown when I was a kid. 75 Mike McGlynn pulls around, and Cyrus Gray. 2 stiff arms, one of them on T.J. Ward. When you go high as a tackler, this is what happens. You go high, now the running back can stick that arm at your face, and your arms will not wrap around him.
They've had the football for the first half of this quarter. And they face another 3rd down. It's the 13th play of the drive, and Smith calls a timeout. Well, they've converted a number of long 3rd downs on this drive. 3rd and 3 coming up out of the timeout. We're back with the Chiefs taking the second half kick and driving for half a quarter to the Denver 14. They've converted on 2 3rd and longs and then got bailed out with a roughing the passer on another 3rd and long. But this one they need only 3 for the first. Jim Nance, Bill Sims, Tracy Wolfson here in Denver. Smith has the first as he zings it right in there to Donnie Avery for 5. And since Avery had his catch taken away, he has his first reception of the game.
Boy, good rhythm, good timing, good protection. Alex Smith looks it off, turns wide open, sees it his own. One thing that Alex Smith said, and I think the Chiefs coaching staff agrees, the Denver Broncos have better talent this year than last year, and it's made them a little more simpler on the defensive side. And as a quarterback, you'd rather have that than what they did last year. Very complicated last year.
First and goal, and Davis picks up 1. Derek Wolfe tripped him up, and Ward finished him off, and Manning just hasn't had a chance to see any action. That whole Denver offense.
Well, emotionally, if the Chiefs can score, that defense has to be lifted. And then I'm really curious to see if they change how they play Denver's offense when it finally comes on the field, especially if the Chiefs score a touchdown here in this drive.
Jack Del Rio's defense trying to come up with a stop here. 2nd and goal for Kansas City. He was hit when he threw it, and was there contact on Kelsey? No, incomplete. Brandon Marshall was defending, and Ware was the one who effected the throw. He was right at the point of contact with Smith when he released it, and look at Ware.
Well, he's tired. He's been trying all day long. And what did he say? That time, little spin move inside. It took longer.
Travis Kelce.
Yep, well covered. But Ware, we said to him on the other day, Jim? Said, how about this mile-high air? And he says, oh, my gosh, when I first got here, I walked up the stairs in the building and was out of breath.
Yeah, but it sounded like, didn't it, that he thought he was pretty much adjusted to it.
Oh, yeah, he is now. He's been here all off season. He's down about 10 to 15 pounds. And, of course, when you lose weight and you're as athletic as him, man, you feel like you're light, you're faster, and it fits into what this defense wants. You said it, I've said it, more speed.
DeMarcus, when we met with him, said so many glowing things about the state-of-the-art training that they have here in Denver.
How about him getting number 94?
Well, he had to pay a little bit with change with Knighton to get the number. But Knighton said, it's your number. You deserve it. I've been watching you for a long time.
Here you go. You got this 3rd down. What you want to do, the stack formations have given the Broncos a lot of trouble.
3rd and goal, and Smith lofts it, and a flag is out. The pass was thrown to Demetrius Harris, their 3rd tight end. This could be called on Harris of the Broncos.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact. Defense, number 25. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
2 different penalties on this drive, and both came on 3rd down.
He's going to go inside. Perfect technique. He grabs him and holds, and that is a penalty. He was in good position. If he'd have never stuck his hands out, they were not going to call a penalty on Harris. They had the right defense on for that play. They were hoping, they've been throwing the football inside, that he would jump on the inside route and they would throw it back outside.
1st and goal. Hemingway in motion. And Smith rolling out. Rolling and getting rid of it. Quanterra Smith in his 2nd year out of Western Kentucky. Boy, he made his presence felt.
Yeah, he sure did. Sprinting right. And once you get penetration on a rollout, the play is over. And Smith, a good pass rusher. Speed. Did his job. Came in, gave a little breather to some of the defensive linemen of the Denver Broncos.
Well, Ware was out, so that brought in Smith, but Ware returns on that defensive line.
He's going to go to the other side this time, DeMarcus Ware.
2nd and goal. Fake to Davis. Ware is giving chase, and a flag is out. As Smith again just has to get rid of it. and it's going against the Chiefs this time.
Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty. Replay. Second down.
That's the second one on Zach Fulton.
Yeah, Zach Fulton, right guard. Boy, I'll tell you, the Chiefs, you get down in here and you throw two passes and not even have a chance in those two. The drive, they have marched 9 minutes and 5 seconds so far.
Isn't that amazing? This is the 17th play coming up.
Pass rush has been a factor these last couple plays by Denver.
Second and goal from the 13, and they're on Smith, and he's taken down at the 19. Vaughn Miller got to him first, and he's going to split the sack with Brandon Marshall.
And what happens, and why all of a sudden is the pass rush coming about? Because they have less room to defend. It's easier. Now they can just attack him, because if he breaks the pocket, the back end can chase him down before he gains yards now. And when you move up in the pocket, Jim, all the time, blockers on the offensive line think they have the right angle. The defender comes inside. Marshall gets the sack.
And Smith goes to the gun on third and goal all the way back at the 19. And that was not going to do much good anyway in the area of Avery. And the Chiefs are going to have possession for about 10 minutes and have to try to settle for a field goal.
Well, let's see what you get as the receivers go down the field. Is there anywhere for Alex Smith to throw the football? I thought they might run it, just get closer for the field goal. And as you look at it, nobody is open. Nobody's not even close to being open. And Alex Smith has to throw it away.
Cairo Santos, rookie from Tulane, made his only attempt in the game in that first half. This from 37, and this one is wide right.
Wow.
All of that for nothing. 10 minutes exactly. 10 minutes, and they come away empty. Peyton Manning has been 42 minutes in real time since he last took a snap. And he's got a hookup with the first play of the second half with Emmanuel Sanders like he did on the first play of the game. Good for 12. By the way, that drive for 10 minutes, that for Kansas City, is its first 10-minute drive in 16 years. And they have nothing to show for it.
Well, emotionally for the whole football team, the offense, even the defense.
Ball. Flags are out. He lost his balance and then recovered. Scooted ahead for 4, but we'll check the flag from Gene Steratore.
Personal foul. Clipping. Offense, number 75. 15-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
That's the first offensive penalty of the game against the Broncos, who expect to have Wes Welker back next week in the game at Seattle with the NFL passing the new drug policy.
Chris Clark, I'm sorry, Jim, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, Chris Clark is the right tackle. The run went left. He went low to a guy that wasn't over him, so you can't clip when the run goes away from you, only when it's to your side.
First and 25. Ball trying to pick up Tamba Hali, but Hali drove right through Monte Ball. Watch that collision. The running back trying to protect his quarterback and had no chance against the powerful Tamba Hali.
He didn't brace himself. Tamba Hali really, in Houston, their defensive linemen. You get them singled up. There was a play action fake, so Luis Vasquez, the right guard, was pulling out to get him, but it just happened too quick.
Kansas City had gone 16 quarters against Denver, going back a couple of years without getting a sack until that one right there. Uh-oh, hold on a minute. Now flags are everywhere as Chris Clark is exchanging some words and shoves with Dontari Poe. And Steratore is looking for a lot of input.
Well, could it be offsetting?
That's what often happens in these skirmishes.
We have fouls by both teams. We have delay of game first on the offense. That penalty is declined. Then we have personal foul, dead ball fouls, unnecessary roughness on the defense and on the offense. Those fouls will all offset, and we will play second down.
You know, that really amounts to nothing. When you've got personal fouls, a fight, whatever you want to call it, and then it's just neutralized. It goes against each team. It's Howard, wasn't Poe. Poe joined it, trying to come support his teammate Howard.
The good thing is they got it right. They got it right. Both of them slapped the other one in the head.
And after all of that, it's still second down and 30. You remember talking to Coach Fox yesterday. They got to get almost to the 50 for a first. The one thing that he really was upset about last week with the Colts was their first drive of the second half. But it set a little bit of a sloppy standard for that second half as Peyton unloads it and gets it to Ball for a gain of 6.
Good job moving in the pocket that time by Peyton Manning. This defensive front, they're coming after it now. And you know, I thought they would play a little more like this. In other words, take some chances with the pass rush and see if you just didn't get destroyed by the run. And that was kind of the thought coming in. Make them throw the ball or run the ball to beat you. Hasn't been exactly that.
Bob Sutton's defense now playing off a little bit here. 3rd and 24.
Three-man rush.
It's a draw for Ball. Ball's got room, and he's out to the 40, and he's close to the first. We're going to spot him less than a yard shy. Picked up 23 on 3rd and 24.
You got to hurry up. He's going to try to quick step you, Peyton Manning. Oh, Kansas City in disarray, too.
Yeah, they're shuttling players in. Total confusion. And up they go, and that should be enough for the first. They got it with Ball. Kansas City with all this injury issues, personnel changes, and there was confusion there. They got caught.
Yeah, they got caught. The 3rd down defense, you know, Jim, if it was 11 backups in there, that was awful. You know, you see the run, you got all those people back, 8 defenders, and nobody reacted fast enough and took an angle to bring down Ball. Good running by him. Really bad defense that time by the Chiefs.
Ball is replaced by Anderson. And another flag is produced.
False start. Offense number 80. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Here we go. Watch what happens. First off, after the long run, people running in. Oh, let me come back. I was going off now there. And you got to get in your stance, and you got to expect an inside run on the quick snap.
First and 15. Fake to Anderson in traffic. That was Cooper jumping in front of Demaryius Thomas and knocking it down.
It's a great play by Cooper. Aggressive at the line of scrimmage on the outside. Watch what he does. Attack the wide receiver. You're at the line of scrimmage. That is done perfectly.
Crowd didn't like the fact there was no flag.
Because you know why? There shouldn't have been one. Look, the crowd wants a flag on every play, right? When it's their team. We know that. But that was an excellent play by Cooper.
Monte Ball comes back in for 2nd and 15. They fake to Ball. Peyton completes it to Sanders, and he's tossed down by Sean Smith. Sanders with his 6th catch of the game for 86 yards.
Well, Sanders, what a pickup. You lose Eric Decker. You get Emmanuel Sanders. Some people thought he'd lost a step. What did Peyton Manning says? I don't think so. You better get rid of it quick if he's outside running deep.
It's a 3rd down for Peyton. 3rd and 5. Demaryius Thomas. Chiefs all over. And they're going to mark it right back at the line, as Ron Parker was the first to pop him. That's going to close out the 3rd quarter. And they'll be punting to start the 4th. 21-10 it remains. Broncos back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. We join now quarter number 4. Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson, and Jim Nantz here on the call. Lance Barrow, Mike Arnold, and the crew on site. And each team had 1 possession in that quarter. Of course, the headline of it, quarter 3, was the Chiefs' 10-minute drive with no points, ending in a missed field goal. And Colquitt's punt downed at the 10 by Hammond. Fair catch after a 34-yard boot. Peyton Manning, he was upset on that failed 3rd down conversion. They got stopped short with Julius Thomas. And the Chiefs, after the punt, take over at the 10 with Niall Davis.
Well, we'll show you why he was mad, Jim. Top of your screen. Julius Thomas go outside. Now it's 1-on-1 with Demaryius Thomas against his defender. Instead, what do you have? 2-on-1, and they tackle him short of the 1st down. And watch Peyton Manning here.
You ever seen Peyton get this upset in his whole career?
No, I think it's as mad as I've ever seen him. But it's frustration. Last week in the 2nd half, here today, now the 4th quarter. Understandable.
2nd and 6. And that's Bassano with a 1st down at the 21. Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS will rock with the Florida Gators dangling with the Alabama Crimson Tide. All begins with college football today.
All this we've been talking about today. Let's think about it. The Chiefs getting down there, getting no points. Everything's gone against them, and it's still 21-10 here in the 4th quarter. You got to give the Chiefs a lot of credit for fighting and being resilient.
Davis with the handoff and stacked up. He's held to 3. We've got an update from New York, and that means we turn it over to James Brown.
Green Bay, 21 unanswered.
Yeah, right here you're going to see Randall Cobb catch this 1-yard touchdown pass. They're going to go for 2, get it, and after the 2-point play, a scuffle breaks out, and they throw Muhammad Wilkerson out of the game. 24-22.
Late in the 3rd, back to Jim, Phil, and Tracy.
All right, JB. The Packers, boy, were they flat-footed at the start of that game, but coming back, 2nd and 7 here. Look at Smith with some heat. Connect with Harris in front of Chris Harris of the Broncos, and a gain of 10.
I was watching Harris warm up before the game, and, you know, it kind of caught me by surprise. I said, who is this guy? Runs well. We've seen Alex Smith look for him, and he's coming up, making the catch.
Yeah, they went for him on that long drive in the end zone that ended up being the legal contact call against Denver, but he didn't play it really virtually at all in the 1st half. He is very impressive looking talent. Gets him a 1st down at the 34, and there's Avery. catches it on the ground at the 39 and pickup of 6.
Not many times you want to challenge Aqib Talib on certain routes, especially when you go up the field and inside, but the quick throws underneath, played it correctly, short gain or, 6-yard gain. But sometimes as a corner, you have to give up certain plays, and what a pickup for the Denver Broncos, a big corner who can play down the field one-on-one.
2nd and 4. The pass is dropped. Fasano out in the flats.
Well, you look at this Kansas City offense, getting rid of the football, respecting the speed of the pass rush, but you almost have to be perfect. There's so little error for them on the offensive side, Jim, because it's not easy to get these big plays down the field, so you got to keep pecking away. So I'm saying your margin of error is very slim.
Third and 4. The Chiefs to Bowe. And he holds on in traffic for 6 and another first down.
Boy, it's tight. So many tight throws today by Alex Smith. Dwayne Bowe, a little double in cut. Sticks it right on his chest. And look at the defenders coming. There's Bradley Roby. Haven't said much about him today. He's been all over the receivers. Man, what a debut he had last week against the Colts.
Yeah, talking about Roby, who was in on 63 snaps and deflected that last pass in Indy's big comeback attempt. 1st and 10, and Davis takes it to the Denver side of the field. And can't say enough about Niall Davis with Jamal Charles getting injured really early in this game in the first quarter after Charles had just carried it a couple of times. He went out with that ankle injury only to not return.
Jamal Charles can hit a home run. Niall Davis can get you a lot of doubles. When you make first contact with him, he falls forward almost every time for 2 more yards.
Averaging 4 yards a pop and has the Chiefs' only touchdown. 2nd and 2. Slips and no gain. This field was a concern coming into this game.
Much better today. I haven't noticed really anybody slipping. When you look down from our viewpoint, Jim, you don't see those skid marks. Last week, there were clean marks about 3 foot long all over the field. So I guess the good sunny weather, it's been dry the last couple of days. This field is much better than it was Sunday night.
They've had multiple events here, including a Manchester United soccer game that beat it up a little bit.
Well, those big soccer players, man, they'll tear up the field.
3rd and 2, inside 10 minutes to go. Play action fake. Smith over the top. Fasano, and did he juggle it for the catch?
What a catch.
They give him the catch. Incredible grab by their tight end. Boy, there you lose sight of it, and you see it again on your back. And that is a grab of 22.
It was such a good read by Alex Smith. He wants to throw it in the flat to get the first down. He looks at a receiver coming across the field and doesn't throw it, and then finds Fasano down the field. I'll tell you, Alex Smith having a heck of a day.
And Fasano with a gorgeous grab.
Chiefs 11 first downs to 2.
First down, and Smith goes sideline. He had an open man but threw it away over Hemingway as Steven Johnson was in the quarterback's area. Don't forget Thursday Night Football coming up on CBS and NFL Network. Atlanta lost today but had an impressive opening win against the Saints. They're 1-1. Tampa in action right now against St. Louis. We'll have the Bucs, the Falcons, the NFC South.
I like it.
We'll see you down south in Atlanta on Thursday night on CBS and NFL Network. 2nd and 10. What a stick that is. That's Roby. You were asking about him. It's been kind of quiet, but not that time, as Jenkins is dropped for a 3-yard loss.
Pretty smart, pretty clever. 29. Diagnoses the screen quickly. The Chiefs, they're really not known for these outside receiver screens, and you could tell the blocking was not there. But Roby, listen, when he was at Ohio State, He's one of those guys that's got that edge to him. Not quite like Steve Smith of the Baltimore Ravens, Steve Smith Sr., but brings an attitude, not afraid, and it shows in his play.
They reset the play clock. 3rd and 13 Chiefs. Down 2 scores. They've got to at least get a field goal out of this trip.
You said he can't take a sack. Probably not a lot of confidence in a field goal kicker, but you're going to have to try it if you don't make it.
They need to get to the 15 for a first. On 3rd down, open is Kelsey. He's going to get the first down and more. To the 5. And was fighting for the angle on the pylon, but he's marked out at the 4.
I was looking inside, can't believe what happens here. It's a blitz to the strong side. That's what it was. And they did not cover the tight end. Aqib Talib, oh, he's coming across, sorry. And he gets picked by his own guy. When you blitz, receivers are crossing. Sometimes that's what happens. That's what happened last year, right, Jim, in the championship game for Talib.
Yeah, he got injured, got knocked out for the rest of that AFC title game. That picked up 24. It's Davis, and he's in again for the touchdown.
The backside of the offensive line. Fisher, McGlynn, and Hudson, the center. They're having a good day.
You go for 2 here, Phil, with 7:11 to go. You got 2 timeouts. You had to use one early in the game, or early in the half.
It's a little harder decision for me. I would say no. You're going to get one more possession, Jim. You hold Denver to a field goal, then all you have to do is score the touchdown to tie.
They're going to
go.
It's
a tough decision, but I agree with this. Kick the extra point.
They go with the extra point try from Santos, who's been shaky each of the first 2 weeks. The extra point is good. How about a 10-minute drive and then back it up with a 7-minute, 42-second series? This time they find the end zone. This game's tight. Aerial coverage provided by MetLife as Kansas City just finished off a 90-yard drive. The first points of the second half for either side.
Well, look what they've done here in the second half. And listen, Andy Reid has called a terrific game, no doubt. I can only second guess one thing. I'm not even going to get into that right now. But the offensive line, which just had an awful day against Tennessee. What a day by all of them. Eric Fisher, McGlynn, Hudson, all of them. They have played very well. They are aggressive. And overall, they have won the war up front for the Chiefs.
Got to tell me what the only thing you could
when they were inside the 10-yard line, he threw 2 passes where I thought, they were blocking well. I would have run it at least one time to see if we could get it closer.
This ball hops to the goal line into the arms of Caldwell. Andre Caldwell, a blocker out in front. And Andre Caldwell, did he step out? Well, now he's pushed out at the 50. He was awfully close to being out on his own about 15 yards earlier. Josh Martin bumps him out, but it's a 53-yard run back following Omar Bolden. Let's see if he stepped out any time earlier. I don't think so. Back with the Broncos after the big return by Caldwell. Starting the drive at the Kansas City 46. And Ball squeezes out an extra yard or 2. 3 total. Andre Caldwell tiptoeing down the sideline, and he never did go out of bounds, but had they missed it, talking about the officials, it couldn't have been challenged anyway because the Chiefs are out of challenges.
Good job. He knew he was close. He kept his body under control, stayed in bounds. A Chiefs defender fell down. That's what gave him the big return.
2nd and 7. Peyton wide open. Sanders waiting for it and takes it for 18. Week 2 continues with Sunday Night Football tonight, 8:30 Eastern on NBC, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN.
Well, it's all about this, Jim. Field goal try. Don't look at the time of possession is unbelievable by Kansas City, but don't let somebody get behind you. You shouldn't this close to the end zone.
Sanders over 100 yards receiving. And they tried him on the reverse.
Yep. That speed sweep has worked for a few teams this year, but I don't think it'll work much longer. Another couple weeks, everybody sees it. Good job that time by James Michael Johnson getting in the backfield. Good speed and had a pretty solid day in there playing full time.
2nd and 12 as we approach 5 minutes to go. Incomplete. Demarius Thomas wants the flag, and it's out. It's going to be called against Marcus Cooper.
Listen.
Pass interference. Defense, number 31. Spot of the foul. First down.
I think Marcus Cooper, he knows. Tight split. He's in tight. It's going to go outside. There's the hand fighting. And who'd he call it on? The left-handed Thomas or the right-handed Cooper?
Well, right away at the start of this game, Peyton challenged Cooper.
Yep.
Went 48 yards, and he beat him up last year, too. I think Peyton got beat up so much as a kid by his older brother, Cooper.
Is that it?
That he's taking it out today on Marcus Cooper.
Yeah, I actually agree with that analogy.
1st and 10 from the 10. And it's Ball. Ball still going and driving down to the 3. Impressive run by Monte Ball.
It was. He stayed with it. Boy, good job of reading the blocks. That time he got behind Orlando Franklin and stayed there. And these running backs for Denver, they know they have 3, maybe 4. They want to carry the football. When your time comes, you run hard.
2 tight ends in. Tammy, this is where they went to him in the first half for a touchdown. He's on a wing to the right. 2nd and goal. And Ball is backed up a couple of yards.
Maga, Tambahali.
Well, how big is this snap? You're leading by 4. Kansas City trying to keep this to a 1-score game inside 4 minutes.
Well, what do? You know, you play zone. Peyton could stick a throw in there between defenders. If you play man-to-man, picks, screens, fades from the inside guy, everything is in play. But I like this defense. Play pressure and try to get to the quarterback to rush the throw.
3rd and goal, 6 yards out. Sanders unable to split the defenders.
What a job.
Chris Owens.
Well defended.
Chris Owens along with Abdullah. They stop him short. 4th down coming up. Timeout, Kansas City. We're back in the Broncos with 3.5 to go. We're going to try to extend the lead to 7 with the 20-yard field goal attempt coming up from Brandon McManus in his first year out of Temple. Temple's all-time leading scorer. And it's good. Big stop, though, by the Chiefs.
Yeah, big stop. Chris Owens inside, circled. Look what he does. Goes behind the picks and makes a good tackle.
Back here in Denver, where the Broncos were looking for the knockout, but got shut down on the goal-to-go situation.
2 big situations here in the second half, almost identical. 3rd and about 4 or 5, whatever. They run almost the same play with 2 different looks, and the Kansas City Chiefs come up and make the tackles both times. And got to give this defense, boy, giving them a lot of credit. Down with players, injuries.
That field goal by McManus from 20 yards out. Denver's only points of the second half. Again, a driving kick that hits ankle high. Hammond Jr. runs it out. And it's a nice return. 33-yard return. Well, Phil, the Chiefs came into this game huge underdogs. But here they are, 3:20 to go, down 7 with possession. And just like a week ago, the Broncos were protecting a late 7-point lead, held on to win over the Colts. That's Davis. He's got about 5, maybe 6.
Man, what a run.
Hey, next week, doubleheader day on CBS, and the big story there, the first Super Bowl rematch in the following regular season in the NFL since 1997, and we'll be there for Denver at Seattle, and it all starts at noon Eastern time with the NFL Today. 2 long drives in this half by the Chiefs. You wonder how fatigue might be weighing on this Denver defense.
Absolutely. So much of it has been the run game and Alex Smith moving around.
2nd and 5, and Smith looking for Bo, and he was open.
He would have hit him, except there was enough pressure by Malik Jackson to make him fall away from the throw. And when you don't have your feet and you need that little extra time, you got to err on the side of caution. There it is, Malik Jackson right there in the slot. Nice move by Bo. If he wouldn't have been under pressure, he'd have dropped that in there for sure.
And it's 3rd down.
Think about it this way. It's 3rd down. You might have a 4th down try at this. So be careful. Don't take a sack.
Yeah, Kansas City has only 1 timeout.
That's right.
Looks like Denver's jump free play, and it's a pick. It's a pick, but probably coming back. It's Talib. Talib's going to take it home, but we've got the flag.
He has been sitting all day. He tried to go in front a couple times and missed. He read the quarterback, but it's not going to count.
It's going to be on Quantera Smith.
Offside. Defense, number 93. That 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Alex Smith saw it too. On the outside. Open. Watch him hit the ground. He knows he's wrong. How about Aqib Talib? He reads the quarterback as well as anybody in the NFL, and he knows it. And the thing about Aqib Talib, Jim, most guys have to do all their work right up at the line of scrimmage and bump the receiver. He stays off, which makes him so dangerous when you throw certain inside routes.
It was 3rd and 5. The penalty gives Kansas City the 7th defensive penalty against the Broncos. And on 1st down, that one dangerously close to T.J. Ward, thrown in the area of Nile Davis.
Yep, you could tell by the motion of Alex Smith the uncertainty of what was going on that time. Well, you're definitely, I'm sure Andy Reid calling the plays. It is definitely 4-down territory. So that changes how you act as a quarterback.
2nd and 10. Smith dumps it off to Davis for 2. Tracy, down to you.
Well, thanks. You guys were talking about how this Denver defense could be feeling some fatigue. Well, on the sideline, Von Miller was getting that right thigh, that groin stretched out. T.J. Ward, he had that right hamstring out. Ward is out there. Miller remains on the sideline, guys.
3rd down coming up, and the clock is running with 2:20 to play.
They're going to come with pressure, I think, this time.
Alex Smith drops it in to Kelsey for the 1st down.
What a throw. What a play by Alex Smith. Was going to run, looks across the field, sees his tight end, Kelsey, and makes a perfect throw.
And it goes for 20. They're all the way down to the Denver 35. We've reached the 2-minute warning.
Here's Kelsey. Look at T.J. Ward looking and still a little confused. And the fact, he's not ready. He gets caught flat-footed and across the field. Now look, watch Alex Smith, the quarterback. Moving left, drops it in there. What a play. Jim, Alex Smith has just played with great feel all day long. Knowing when to move, good touch on the football. Let's see if he can finish it off.
And Kelsey has had 3 third-down catches, 4 overall for 80 yards.
Got him again.
Flags are out. Free play as Gray is down to about the 29. Remember, the Chiefs, again, 1 timeout.
That's important right there. I know there's still plenty of time, but this stops the clock. You don't use a timeout. Well, you got to take the penalty. Sure.
Offside. Defense, number 98. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
And that puts the football at the 30.
Well, that's a lot of jumping off sides by this defense today. And it can't be, it's them. Because it can't be the snap count, because there's no way they can hear it.
1st and 5. 30 yards away from tying it up with a touchdown and the point after. Oh, and the Broncos come up with the quarterback sack, and the ball is out. DeMarcus Ware got in on the quarterback, and that's Nate Irving running off the field with the football.
They're going to talk about who had possession.
And remember, we're inside of 2 minutes, so the Chiefs, who have no challenges remaining, doesn't matter now because we're inside 2 minutes. It's a booth review. They say Denver football. DeMarcus Ware strips it. What a huge review we're going to have now as the officials have sent Steratore under the hood to take a look at the recovery here.
75, Mike McGlynn watching, tries to pick it up. Then he falls on it, definitely has it underneath. And then Marshall.
I got another one for you. You can almost say that Smith threw this football, even though Ware has hold of his arm.
The ball went forward.
Take a look at Smith's arm here.
It's still in there. That's going to be an
incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass.
Mike Carey, did you see that? What do you think's going on here?
Jim, you nailed that right on the head. The ball did not come loose with the first contact of the quarterback, and then his arm came forward with complete control, and then it went loose. Incomplete pass. This play will be reversed to an incomplete pass.
Very good, Mike. You know, we're looking for, remember, and it's when you review a play, everything comes into it. So it's not just a fumble, who recovered it, but the fact that the quarterback, that was a good pickup by you, Jim Nantz. Seeing, man, good grip by Alex Smith, and his arm was going forward.
It is amazing he had the strength to still hold on, grip the football, and try to fling it away. Here comes Gene Steratore.
He's got big hands, and they paid off that time.
After review, it has been determined that the ball was in the possession of the quarterback's hand moving forward before it came loose. Therefore, by rule, this is an incomplete forward pass. It will be Kansas City's ball, 2nd down and 5 on the 30-yard line. The ball will be placed on the hash mark nearest Denver's bench, 2nd and 5. With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1 minute 51 seconds.
Hey,
1:51.
Mike, I'll make this real quick. We all know following the game that the tuck rule has gone away, but explain to people why this was not that situation.
This is not a tuck because the ball was going forward in complete control, and he had not started to bring it back towards his body. It came out almost simultaneously with the forward motion.
And there is no doubt in your mind that's the proper call.
No doubt in my mind. It was well done in replay.
Very good, Mike. You know, you notice that Mike is he's so sure, but it's great. I mean, it is good to have him in there and to help us out. And he's still betting 1,000. Not that I'm keeping count, Mike. But how about that? You know, the protection, Jim, on that last play was good by Eric Fisher. The coverage is what made Alex Smith relook the second time, and that's when he got hit by DeMarcus Ware. And That's why you bring guys in like DeMarcus Ware.
All of
Pressure
that.
situations, you want the pass rusher to make the play.
And the ball's back at the 30 and a 2nd and 5. Just for a moment when it looked like Denver had closed it out, the Chiefs are back knocking. As Smith backpedals and throws down the field, and he's got Bo inside the 10. Dwayne Bowe with the catch for 21.
What a job again by Alex Smith. He backtracks and softens in the pocket. He moves backwards to give himself a little more time and puts that right on the money. Wow, what a throw. But you know, a lot of times quarterbacks panic, Jim. They step up, they break the pocket. He went backwards, gave himself room, and made a good throw.
1st and goal at the 9. Now, how fast do you score? Of course, the first goal is to get it to the end zone. That's why they're going to run it here, though. And will Denver use some timeouts? Well, I don't know. You know, if you've got 1:30 to go, and there's that man on the sideline.
I think you call a timeout if you're Denver. You're not really aiding the offense. You're giving your team a chance if they score. They have 3.
They elect to let it run 2nd and goal. Smith to the 3. With Avery.
Well, they were down inside in the 3rd quarter on that long drive and got nothing out of it.
Timeout was signaled here to the Chiefs, which I don't know why the Chiefs would take the timeout here. I thought for sure it would be one called by the Broncos.
So much time. Maybe Andy Reid just wants time. This is the only reason I can think of. He wants time to think and to talk to his players about what they're going to do. And again, on the other side, you got Peyton Manning. You know, you give him a minute 25. If they do tie this game up, I'd like to see that chance. So Denver, John Fox elected just to play it out. If they score, he's willing to go into overtime.
Third and goal.
They're confused, lining up. They finally get it done. You got Nate Irving in the slot against the tight end.
Another flag down. As Smith has the football fall out of his hands, but it's going to be another jump, I believe, on the Broncos.
Offside. Defense, number 94, off the distance to the goal. Replay, 3rd down.
On Ware. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. The Chiefs and Broncos coming down to the last minute. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. So that moves the football to the 2.
Well, it brings many more things into play for the Chiefs. You can fake it, the quarterback can run. You can go ahead and take a chance and run this football and know you have plenty of time left. Looks like a passing formation, but Denver, be alert for the quarterback run.
They go with Davis, who tripped at first and is pushed back, no gain. Ware and Irving. And the Broncos make the stop and the clock is running. 4th and goal coming up.
Well, don't rush it. Plenty of time. I did like that call. Just they got beat up front, pushed backwards, nowhere to go. Now you have to throw it.
Fourth and goal. Chiefs trying to tie it. Smith. Ball is deflected at the line of scrimmage. And the Broncos are going to hold on here for victory. Terrence Knighton was the one who never allowed Kansas City to have a chance.
I don't think he's going to complete it anyway. Let's see if we can watch it. There's a guy here, and then in the back of the end zone, you're going to see another receiver. There it is inside. You can see they got it covered. There's nobody open in the back. There is nobody open anywhere, so really good defense by the Denver Broncos.
Two times in this half, the Chiefs goal-to-go situations, and they got nothing out of it. So on a day where they celebrated Gene Mingo and Rick Upchurch and Dan Reeves into the Ring of Fame and remembered one of their charter members, Goose Gonsolin, who passed away this week, the Broncos, they got pushed to the limit here. But they're 2-0 heading to Seattle. The Seahawks will be waiting for them next week, coming off a loss today at San Diego. We'll be there next Sunday.
Sometimes it's good to play these type of games, Jim. It keeps your team on edge. The Broncos won't be happy, and they know they're going into the toughest place that I've ever seen in the NFL.
Manning throws for 3 touchdowns. The Chiefs, what an effort they gave here. Undermanned, they dropped to 0-2. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson. We'll go to James Brown in New York.